And you know the drill by now, because it is time once again for all of you to shut up and sit down, because I'm talking to all of you. As you know now, there has been some issues which, because of King Sam, I have not been able to deal with. So I'd like to take the time tonight to address the Dino D and John Cutter situation on Fight Night. John, you were suspended. Week after week, you continue to attack Dino still. Now, I tried to help you, John, but you broke our agreement numerous times now, and I've had enough. You guys may not notice, but John was released by the WWE and was sent back to prison because of it. So he came here. So where we cut him the same deal. You work for WIW as community service in a way. And as long as you follow the rules and stay reasonably under control, then you can stay out of prison. But it's clear to me now that you have lost all control of yourself, John, and I clearly can't control you either. So I have decided to terminate your agreement. John Cutter, effective immediately, you are no longer an employee of WIW, and you will be sent back to the Illinois Correctional Facility to serve the rest of your sentence. I'm really sorry, John. Really I am. But there's no other way. On to some more positive news. After letting you guys vote for the last couple of days, we can now officially announce that this year we will be having a Memorial Battle Royal. The match will be dedicated to a man named Nathan Logue. He was my best friend for years before he unfortunately passed away of cardiac arrest at just the age of 12. He was a true hero to me and to everybody who knew him. He was the biggest gamer I ever met, and I don't think I would be here today had it not been for him. So this year, we will officially be having at Insomnia the first ever Nathan Logue Memorial Battle Royal. That's all for now. Peace.
Shut up and sit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome to the start of Monday Night Mayhem. I don't know why I said it like that, that was a little weird, but still, welcome back to Monday Night Mayhem. We are now on like episode 108, 109, somewhere along that lines. Crazy how many episodes we are at, and we're almost at the end of season number 1, and it is time to continue on with the road to glory. It's time to continue with the WIW tournament. Too many tournaments going on at once, building up to Insomnia. Remember, this tournament, of course, for the vacant WIW Championship. And the first man coming down to the ring is none other than Brad Skeens. Has had a pretty successful Season 1, former European champion. Held it for a solid 2-3 months before dropping the title again. And Brad Skeens, it did take him a while to get into a rhythm. He found that his biggest task was taking down the man that was, it was, oh, God, hang on. It's going to come to mind in a minute. Jace, there we go. The man that was Jace. Oh, it's going to be a hard episode, boys. The man that was Jace, he couldn't get past him. On his third attempt, he finally managed to capture European Championship gold. He held it for a little while after taking it from Mason Foster. Couldn't hold it on for long enough, though, as he lost it in a 6-man match. But traded his rematch clause for a spot in the Elimination Chamber match at Lockdown. And unfortunately for him, he just hasn't been able to pick up the big gold that he's after. But tonight he gets another chance here to get himself to the top of the mountain and capture the WIW Championship at Insomnia. This is Brad Skeens' way of getting there, and it starts here tonight. But the same goes for this man, the man who recently had a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship, but fell just short to Jake Griffiths. It is the star boy, Estrella Chico. A fan favorite, and I'm sure a lot of people were hoping, maybe praying, that he would be able to knock off Jake Griffiths, but Jake Griffiths has just been in such great form, and it is the promise that at the beginning of 2018, the Euro de Borough would be his, and so far he has lived up to that perfectly. But Estrella Chico wants to make it to Insomnia. This could be his last way in. And of course, as the general manager mentioned earlier, thanks to popular fan voting, which, by the way, thank you everybody who did vote on both the poll and the last video and also the poll in the description. There will be a memorial Battle Royal happening this year. It will be, of course, as the general manager mentioned at the opening of the show, the Nathan Logue Memorial Battle Royal. And Nathan Logue, of course, a big inspiration for this whole setup. This whole thing wouldn't exist without him there. So it's good that we are reminding him with this Battle Royal. Remember, the general manager announced earlier as well, there will be an additional prize for winning the Battle Royal, so it's not the end of the world. But anyway, Brad Skeens and Estrella Chico, and they already know who they're going to face. They've been told beforehand. The winner of this match will go on to take on the former 4-time WIW champion, Aaron Albright, in the next round of the tournament. So this is big, big stakes, but only one of them is going to make it. One of them is going out right now. The other is going to progress to the tournament quarterfinals, maybe? Quarterfinals, semi-finals. I think it's the quarterfinals. But after last week's impressive display, we saw several big winners, such as original Brad Dixon winning the main event in a big upset victory against Rage. We also saw Aaron Albright beat Alan Hart in a matter of 30 seconds. And we also saw Lachlan knock off AD Nathaniel. So we already know 4 of the finalists, and we are going to crown another 4 here tonight. So we'll have 8 quarter-finalists by this time. And of course, as we saw, another tournament kicking off earlier this week with the Road to Glory Season 2 getting underway here. Oh, and Skeens nearly left it late there, but he came in at 9. He's a little hesitant to get back in the ring there, Brad Skeens. He's off to a good start, though. But Chico, as we know, has the ability to hang on in these matches, can turn the tide in a moment, which is exactly what he's trying to do here. He has him hanging off the ropes. There's a neck breaker. Very nicely done by Estrella Chico. And the Star Boy, very strong for his natural cruiserweight physique, but of course, we all know his niche is his high-flying and fast-paced offense, one of the fastest people in WIW. Brad Skeens, of course, we know with a variety of moves that can get the job done, favoring, of course, that vicious spear from out of nowhere. Doesn't even need a run-up, just could hit it from literally nowhere and no one ever sees it coming because he doesn't make it obvious, and I think that's a smart strategy, even if it is a small sacrifice of a little bit of power. Into the first cover here by Skeens, and he's only going to get a 1 count. And for Skeens, of course, he's also been developing his game further to add himself a submission, which has proven to be very lethal here in WIW, that being the Anaconda Bite. It's been a while since we've seen Brad Skeens on our screens, and you know that usually means when he's not on TV, that usually means he's honing in on his skills. But right now, under heavy fire here from Estrella Chico. And Chico playing to the crowd as Skeens gets to the other side of the rope. And for Skeens, I guess partially the reason he hasn't had many matches because there hasn't been many ropes for him to get to Insomnia at this point. Brad Skeens had a great start to the year, as I mentioned. Was competing in and around the European Championship picture. Finally captured the European Championship. Started to break away into the world title picture towards the end, near to the lockdown area. Beautiful moonsault there by Estrella Chico, but now being met with the punching power there of Brad Skeens, who's going to get himself back into the... Oh no! Skeens ain't going back into the ring. Skeens here to put on a show tonight. Oh, he just misses. Just misses. Just too much there for Brad Skeens. And Chico gets away lightly there. That could have been a huge connection should that have landed. And Chico survives in this match. Well, we've already seen a couple of upsets, and to be honest, I think it would be considered an upset should Brad Skeens lose to Estrella Chico here tonight. But Estrella Chico, he's pulled off upsets and miracles before. And of course was probably one of the best one of the best European Championships matches we've had of the year, with him and Jace all the way back near the beginning end of the year. And so I'm sure he's not going to slow down for anyone here tonight. Beautiful Pele kick there by Estrella Chico, and into the cover. Is that enough to get Skeens out of here? No, it's not. It's a 2 count. I remember they've got a tough task after this, whoever wins, because the winner of this will go on to face the former WIW champion, Aaron Albright. We'll try to get him up there for a detonation kick. Very nicely scouted there by Brad Skeens. And now Skeens looking for that package powerbomb. Can he get him? Right on the top of the skull. Now where does he go from here? He's going to go straight into the cover. Wants to see if he can wrap up Estrella Chico right there. 2 count. And what a fantastic matchup this has been to start off tonight's show. But now what Skeens doing? He's backing up. Maybe thinking spear. He's giving himself a little bit of a run up here. And this added power from the run up will surely put him away. There's the spear by Skeens. Skeens with the spear. Is that enough to put away Chico? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Brad Skeens picks up a huge victory here tonight over Estrella Chico, the star boy, who put on one hell of a show, but just couldn't finish the job off. He did so well when he took the control here with the Pele kick that almost got the job done. A very close 2 count indeed, but Brad Skeens with the package pile driver. Great timing for the controller to die, and following through with a massive spear to get the job done. Well, that cements the second round position then. Brad Skeens and Aaron Albright will collide for a spot in the semi-finals of the tournament. What a matchup that's going to be. These two have collided in the past, but never for the chance at a championship. And so for Brad Skeens, a huge task, but the question is he up to that task? Can Brad Skeens knock off the 4-time world champion for the chance to go on to face for the WIW Championship, potentially at Insomnia? Of course, providing he wins the semi-finals as well. Or will the 4-time WIW champion Aaron Albright find a way to conquer Skeens and progress to the semi-finals? What a fantastic first matchup, though, that was here tonight for Brad Skeens. Let's move on down the rest of the card. And we've been told to cut backstage because it looks like we've got ourselves more confrontation. Bowen and Piper colliding backstage again. And these two just hate each other. Oh, and it's turned to violence. Of course it has. And these two just exchanging words. But Halie Bowen has snapped. She recently came out on social media to talk about the issue of Sandra Piper herself. And now she's coming backstage to deal with her here tonight. Well, Sandra Piper under heavy fire here by Halie Bowen, and these two not scheduled to compete tonight. Of course, tonight's focus being mainly the WIW Championship Tournament, as it was last week as well. But Bowen and Piper just can't seem to get their hands off of one another. These two have been colliding for months now, with a mutual prize, of course, of the benefit of the WIW Women's Championship on the Mayhem brand. And now these two collide here in the backstage area because they just can't wait to get their hands on each other. Remember, at Insomnia, Halie Bowen will be facing off against Sandra Piper one last time for the Mayhem Women's Championship. This time, one-on-one, as it was at the last pay-per-view where Piper walked out victorious. Well, Sandra Piper and Halie Bowen, sorry, I realise that's the pronunciation now after she said it. But Bowen really has come out of her own and shown that she is the only woman in the Mayhem locker room that has been able to... Oh, she nearly landed on that chair there. She's been the only woman in the locker room to be able to compete with Sandra Piper. But as she's showing here, Sandra Piper, just such a lethal fight. A massive headbutt there. Oh, now crashing her into that locker room area. And Bowen has brought this fight to Piper, and she's not backing down despite the overpowering size and strength of Sandra Piper. Gut wrench, suplex there. And Sandra Piper lifting her up. Oh, look at that. Very nicely done. And now look at this. Piper continuing to mount offense forward. These two, it's going to get even more heated than this. If you think this is bad, just wait until you see these two at Insomnia. Two women who genuinely can't stand each other will collide on the biggest stage of them all for the first time ever at Insomnia. And look at this, waited perfectly for her to spin around. F5! Showing to be the beast of WIW. And shades of Brock Lesnar from WWE in the UFC there. And Bowen still not giving in though, still fighting back. Oh, right on the corner of it. And Bowen making it clear she's not backing down from Sandra Piper. DDT! Right to the skull, and these two still going at it. Look at this, trying to choke her out backstage. And these two, I don't think 5 security guards could keep these two from ripping each other apart. Two women with a genuine hatred for one another. And they've both held the titles. Oh, look at that! Pin to the top of the skull. And Piper not letting her get away with that. These two women just beating each other down out here in the locker room. Oh, and now back in the corridor as well, onto the concrete floor. This is not the place to be. Especially with Piper lurking around. Massive stomp on the head. The ferocity of that one. And now look at this. Oh, God. That's going to hurt. Oh, and powerbomb. Oh, wait. She's not done. A second powerbomb. And just for good measure, a third powerbomb to Bowen. Knocks her out cold, and she laughs in her face as Bowen couldn't keep up with Piper once again. Well, things are getting heated by the minute between these two, and these two can't wait to step in at the ring at Insomnia for the Mayhem Women's Championship. And to be honest, I can't wait to see these two collide. It could be one of the biggest matches of the Insomnia show, depending on how much these two are willing to put on the line for the Mayhem Women's Championship. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Well, now that we've actually got some order back to proceedings, it's time to continue on with some more matches in the WIW Championship Tournament. Next man down to the ring is one who many people at the beginning of the year would predict this to win. Now it is not so certain. It is the real deal. Stephen Miller, who, to be fair, for Season 1 has proven to be the real deal. He's been one of the biggest names in Mayhem, started the year on a huge winning streak that went on for months. Unfortunately, though, it came to the end at the hands of William Hale, his once rival, who has now switched over to the Fight Night brand. But for the real deal, it's been a bad couple of months. He's missed out on several championship opportunities, but this is his chance. He wants to go to Insomnia. This is how he's going to get there in the road to... I knew I was going to do that again. WIW Championship Tournament here again. And this could be his first chance at silverware here tonight. His form has definitely dipped. There is no question about that. And I'm sure Stephen Miller is working hard in the Performance Center constantly to try and rectify his current loss streak. Or not lost streak, but his losing ways. And here's someone who has done the exact opposite. Stephen Miller started the year off strong, has got a little bit worse as time has gone on. But here's someone who went from being, and I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible, probably one of the worst stars we had on the brand, to being one of the best now. He's definitely worked his way up. Unfortunately, though, couldn't manage to conquer original Brad a couple of weeks ago. It is Robert Hall. And Robert Hall has definitely changed so much since going back to realizing he is a submission specialist. He has realized his true way of getting victories. He's a fantastic submission artist, several submissions that can get the job done, and he has done that for a little while. We went on a solid 2 months of unbeaten runs. Unfortunately, that came to the end at the hands of Original Brad. Of course, we don't count the Royal Rumble because Royal Rumble isn't really a technical loss. It was eliminated, I believe, by Sandra Piper. May be mistaken. But then again, she eliminated most people in that Rumble, so it's a safe bet to say that she did. But for Robert Hall, this is his chance, his big opportunity in what I believe is one of his first chances at the WWF Championship. No, he was in lockdown, wasn't he? He was in the Elimination Chamber. So he needs this one just as badly as Steve Miller does. Here we go. Bell rings and away we go. And these two are definitely going to bring us a true classic of a contest. Two people who have had some unbeaten runs in the past, some title runs in the past, but they just haven't been able to capture the gold. That's one thing that they're both shy of. And tonight, they're both going to try their hardest to do just that. And as, of course, as the general manager pointed out at the beginning of the show, we already know... well, he might have done it at the beginning of the show, I don't know. Did he just stick his middle fingers up there? I see that. Oh, look at that, taking Miller out to the outside. Robert Hall's taking no prisoners here tonight. Clearly not feeling the effect still of the beatdown from Original Brad. Oh, that's a blatant low blow. Robert Hall coming out really aggressive here tonight. Clearly he has snapped. And right now taking his frustrations out on Steve Miller. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So we already know who they'll be facing in the quarterfinals. Their quarterfinal opponent, whoever wins this, will go on to take on, and have fun with this, Dixon. The man who knocked off Rage in a matter of about 5-10 minutes is now going to square off with the winner of this match in the quarterfinals of the WIW Championship. Dixon's been in great form as of late. Unfortunately, could not capture the European Championship, but it could have accidentally worked out in his favour. And now look at this, Irish whip by Stephen Miller. And Steve Miller, he needs this win, you feel. It's been a while since he's had a big, important win. He's been on the top of his game this year, but yeah, he just hasn't been able to turn it into title success. He needs a big victory to cap off season number 1, and that is where this tournament is going to come in. As for Robert Hall, started off his career losing in 9 seconds, and then later in the year would go on a 2-month unbeaten run. It's an impressive thing to say from someone like Robert Hall, who has grown so much in such a short space of time. And for him to cap off the year with a huge win of the WIW Championship, no less. What a way to show the improvement. And Robert Hall taking all the precautions necessary here. He's taking Miller up the ramp as the count is rising. And is he just going to settle for the count-out victory here? Robert Hall making it clear that he'll do whatever it takes to walk out the winner here tonight. Crashing him into the barricade. Oh, they both charged back into the ring. Steve Miller had to bring Robert Hall. But I think at the count of 9 it ended. Stephen Miller brings him back in. And like I said, the winner will be facing Dixon. And of course, they got to imagine that the tournament bracket is not going to get any easier as time goes on. Robert Hall really bringing it here to... Stephen Miller. And for these two who have never captured gold, this is their first opportunity at it. Well, not their first opportunity. This could be their first chance to get it. This could be their best chance to get it if they can make it to the finals of this tournament. Steve Miller now showing that classic offense that we know we can do. And Steve Miller under a bit of fire early on, but now going to start to mount some offense of his own. Earlier on tonight, we saw Brad Skeens progress to the end of the first round. He'll be taking on Aaron Albright in the next round, and what's truly going to be one hell of a classic quarterfinals match. And now Steve Miller picking up Robert Hall. Robert Hall's not going to let him have his own way, though, and that's what you've got to do. You can't afford to let Steve Miller take control. That's when he's lethal. Cover off the Samoan driver, only going to get the 1. Robert Hall, various submissions, as I mentioned to begin with, to get the job done, but this is what he favors above all, going for the gutbuster to Steve Miller, and where did that come from? Oh, he's not done there. He's going to follow it through with a full 50 splash. Connects on the full 50. What a massive gutbuster. Followed through with a 450, targeting the chest area of Steve Miller. And Miller is under heavy fire here from Robert Hall. Now Robert Hall, Irish whip, big counter, very nicely done. Gets out. Oh, we saw this against Original Brad. Spinning heel kick. And it almost kept Brad down for a count of 3. Is it enough to get rid of Stephen Miller tonight? No, it's not. 2.5. That spinning heel kick. Second time we've seen it come into play. Not tonight, it's the first time tonight, but it once again couldn't get the job done, and now Steve Miller on the offensive. Straight jacket, suplex, and what a landing. Playing to the crowd, he very much is a fan favourite here. Steve Miller, one of the big names on Mayhem, and continues to assert that here. Big shoulder tackle, and another shoulder tackle. And Robert Hall doesn't know what hit him. Oh, well done there by Robert Hall to give himself some breathing room. Oh, but wait a minute, look at this. Miller recovers, turns around, and double axe handle right to the top of the skull. And the real deal, Steve Miller now lining up for a flip over DDT. All of a sudden, this burst of offense could cost Robert Hall a chance at the WIW Championship. Flip over DDT, flips him over into the cover as well. Is that enough to advance to the next round of the tournament? 2 count. And the face of Stephen Miller says it all. He thought that was enough. He thought he advanced to the next round, but he didn't. Robert Hall now on the offensive. Big clothesline. Steve Miller trying to keep control. And now Steve Miller, what's he thinking? Might be thinking tie driver. Oh, he couldn't get him. Robert Hall does well to sidestep. Couldn't get him there for the tie driver. Big counter and into a DDT. Steve Miller's going to try again. Is he going to go for the tie driver? To wrap this one up, it could very much do it. Looking for the tie driver. Tie driver! He falls awkwardly on the ropes. He's going to have to drag him away. But that could be enough. Is it enough to put away Robert Hall and advance to the next round of the tournament? No! Steve Miller kicks out at 2. And look at... No, Robert Hall kicks out at 2. I think I said Stephen Miller there. But he can't believe his eyes. But look at this. Straight back onto the high-flying offense. Natural cruiserweight. The man from Thailand, Stephen Miller. All trying to get him up maybe for a tie driver again. Well sidestepped there by Robert Hall. And this could be Robert Hall's moment to come back, and he senses it. Playing to the crowd there with a beautiful cartwheel and a big clothesline. Starting to mount some offense forward. This could be the chance to get back in this. Massive Pele kick there by Robert Hall. And now Steve Miller in trouble. He's going for the gutbuster again. Well countered. And now might go for a submission. Here he does. Hooks the legs. What's he thinking? Oh, what a submission move. What, that's a fantastic variation of the sharpshooter. And in the middle of the ring, Robert Hall with nowhere to crawl to. Steve Miller might have him here. Is that enough to get him done? No, look at this, Robert Hall powering out of it. What a contest this has been. Between two people in desperate need of this win, and neither one of them willing to give up to fighting for it. Oh, submission's in. He's got him. He's got him. He's got him. He needs to grab the rope, and I think he did. Yet the referee calls the rope break. Steve Miller almost had him. He just couldn't get him in the center enough. And very nicely done. Oh, look at this. Beautiful DDT. And into the cover again, and it's a rope break. Well, Miller continues to mount the offense. This should be it. Tie driver if he can get him up. Tie driver. Come on. Can he connect? Stephen Miller, he's got him. Oh, and look at the awkwardness on the landing. Rolls him over into the cover, which is a rope break. What was Miller doing? And he should have known that was a rope break by the awkward landing that he had. Oh, and a big shot in the face there. And Robert Hall survives via rope break. But I could have sworn that that was it, had it not been. Continues to target on the legs here. And he keeps doing that. He might be able to get the submission done. Well, these two fighting hard and showing they're not scared of what waits them in the quarterfinals. Remember, in the quarterfinals, they will be taking on Dixon. Whoever walks out the winner. Looking for the gutbuster again. Another beautiful counter by Steve Miller. And a backbreaker. And all of a sudden, this is becoming a lot more fast-paced. These two really going at it here tonight. No one is giving up on the chance to become the WIW champion to end season number 1. And remember, for a lot of these people, this could be their only way and their only ticket to Insomnia. Yes, there's the chance of the Memorial Battle Royal, but there is still the possibility of a WIW Championship, and I'm not sure no one's going to settle for the Battle Royal. Look at this! Gutbuster's got it! He hits him with the Gutbuster! And that's been more than enough in the past. Robert Hall, has he done enough to put away Stephen Miller? No, he hasn't. 2 count again. And he might try for the spinning heel kick one more time if he can get him. Robert Hall. Oh, no, couldn't get him up. Very nicely done. And now Miller needs to try and stay in control because Robert Hall's showing he's not going down without a fight. Has him on the ropes. Oh, tosses him over the ropes. And now Stephen Miller face to face with it. Oh, God. What's Robert Hall thinking here? Oh, look at this, Robert Hall. Oh, God. Oh, DDT right on the edge of the apron. Huge connection there by Robert Hall. And these two not taking any prisoners tonight. They're doing whatever it takes, and so they should, to get their hands on the WIW Championship. And I think this might be, so far, the best match of the round. This has been so fantastic, and this is only round 1 of the tournament. Still several rounds to go, and the competition's only going to get more and more heated as we get towards Insomnia. But these two fighting like their careers depend on it. The count beginning to rise again. Robert Hall takes him up the ramp, and surely he's not going to be satisfied with this. These two have been battling like warriors. If this was to end on count out, no one is going to walk home happy out of this one. And Robert Hall is making it clear here tonight he's doing whatever it takes to capture that championship. Steve Miller going to run into the ring, and Karma might come back to bite him here. This is the second time he's done it, and Steve Miller might take the win on count out. He's going to let him do it. Count of 9. Robert Hall's not getting up, and Steve Miller progresses to the quarterfinals. And right as I was saying, this was shaping up to be one of the best matches of the round. Stephen Miller takes the count-out victory. It really was Robert Hall's own doing. That was the second time he tried to get this one wrapped up on count-out. But what a match. These two put on such a classic, and it deserved a clean finish. Unfortunately, we just didn't get it. But Stephen Miller progresses regardless. Picks up the win, and he is going on to face Dixon in the quarterfinals of the WIW Championship Tournament. Well, for Robert Hall, a man who literally did anything that he could think of to walk out the victor here tonight, he just couldn't do it. And Stephen Miller, back to winning ways at an important time as well. Can he find some winning form consistently now and progress all the way to the finals at Insomnia? He's got a long road ahead, but it's a fantastic opener for Stephen Miller here in this tournament. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Thank you to everyone for that huge warm welcome. As you saw, SDC, a good friend of mine, called me out last week for a dream match at Insomnia. And I have been waiting for a match like this. Not only just a match at Insomnia, but a true opponent for me to step up to and prove to everyone that I am just as good, if not a better, European champion than Jace. All of my title reign, I have been compared to Jace and his long and brilliant reign. But I am closing in on his reign, and this match at Insomnia will help me cement my legacy as the greatest European champion ever. SDC is, as his nickname, the hero of wrestling suggests, is a true challenge for me. Not only is he a top tier fighter, but he and I have trained together many times. He knows me very well in that ring, and I am the same with him. We both know what a win at Insomnia will do for us. For SDC, it will be his first ever WIW title, and for me, I get to continue to beat and chase down Jace's reign. So SDC, of course I accept your challenge. But know this, my friend, I am not taking this easy on you. As soon as we step in that ring, our friendship will be put on hold, and I will do whatever it takes to win. I'll see you at Insomnia, hero. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have an official contest for Insomnia confirmed. SDC, the hero of wrestling, will take on the Welsh Wonder Boy, Mason Foster, for the European Championship at Insomnia. That is going to be one huge contest. And speaking of huge contests, we continue down the card with some more championship action. Of course, this is the tournament continuation as Oliver Regem the former Cruiserweight Champion, the first ever Cruiserweight Champion, makes his way down to the ring. Been an up and down first season for Oliver Regem. Hasn't been the best, I'd say, but he did capture Cruiserweight Gold. Held it for a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, couldn't keep it for very long as he lost it to Jake Griffiths, who still has it today on his second stint. But for Oliver Regem, he always said the Cruiserweight Championship would just be a start, a basis for him to progress forward, and tonight he gets his chance to progress forward in the tournament for the WIW Championship. This could be Oliver Regem's big night. But he's up against a tough challenger, a man who's been competing in and around the top card, also another former champion in his own right, a former European champion as well, who has dealt with Mason Foster in the past, and I'm sure he has no intentions of going back to dealing with him again, as he has one eye on the prize, and that is the WIW Championship. It is Jax Wolfe. And do you know what? Considering what he was like in the trial era, I'd say overall this has been a very successful season number 1 for Jax Wolfe. Managed to capture the European Championship. Been in and around the title picture. He's been a part of the Royal Rumble match. He's been a part of the Money in the Bank ladder match. He's been a part of some of the biggest matches of the year. And Jax Wolfe does no intention, I guess, of slowing down in season number 2. But he could go into season number 2 as the WIW champion should he progress in the tournament here tonight. Big ask for Jax Wolfe though, because Oliver Regem, as we know, the best striker in all of WIW. Here tonight he steps in the ring with. And as usual, we already know who their first opponent's going to be. Oh, they're shaking hands here, okay. A sign of respect between Regem and Wolfe, showing they're ready to compete here tonight, but showing some respect to one another. Two top-tier fighters, and they're showing that between each other here tonight. Big start there by Jax Wolfe with a suplex. Big lift as well, and now going for a second one, this time a German. Very nicely done. And Jax Wolfe not done yet. Spins him around for a third suplex. What a start by Jax Wolfe. And remember, I haven't mentioned this yet, but the general manager has already announced that the winner of this match will go on to take on Lachlan of Team Justice in the next round of the tournament in the quarterfinals. So a tough ask there, because you know that AD Nathaniel will either be there at ringside or he'll find his way of getting himself involved in that tournament matchup. And I'm sure that Justice, of course, after last week facing each other for a spot in the quarterfinals, are going to work together the best they can now to make sure that at least Lachlan gets his hands on the WIW Championship. And that could be very problematic should Justice end up with the WIW Championship come Insomnia. But first, we've got to concentrate on who their opponents are, and we'll find out in this one. Oliver Regem, by far one of the best strikers we have in the business. Lethal punches and kicks. And of course, that Regem combo, vicious enough to wrap up any match, which he has done plenty of times in the past. Just needs to find a way to land it here tonight, and we could be looking at the end. As for Jax Wolfe, spent the first half of the year just punishing people, not interested in pins, just concentrating on taking people out. But now that he's concentrated on actually picking up the victories that he needs to progress, he has been so successful. And that's what helped him capture his first European Championship. And now trying to continue his hunt for the WIW Championship here tonight in the tournament. Big kick, and a massive brainbuster there. Jax Wolfe, such a huge variety of offense from this man. And Oliver Regem kicking out at one there very early on, and we knew that this one was going to be competitive. Oliver Regem and Jax Wolfe, both former champions, both had more than a 1 week reign. Look at that! Discus clothesline! And that's what I'm talking about, the vicious striking power of Oliver Regem. That could easily be enough to take him out of the tournament. 2 count. Massive discus by Regem. And if that doesn't work, then he knows what will. Looking for the Regem combo. Wolfe in trouble now. Oh no! He avoids the Regem combo. Not going to let it happen that easy. Not giving up on this tournament just yet. Gets him up on the shoulders instead. Regem not going to make himself predictable. Big counter though by Jax Wolfe. Wolfe now with an opportunity to land some big strikes of his own. What can he do here? To the opposite side of the ropes, was he thinking? Oh God, we saw Robert Hall try this. Is it going to work for Jax Wolfe? Oh, DDT right on the edge. And Jax Wolfe not letting him go down easy. Back inside the ring, and I guess he's just going to wait. Wait and see. Oh, no, he's back out. He's back out again. What a start to this match it's been between these two. Both men going at it. Oliver Regem unable to land the Regem combo there, and it's now led to him being beaten down on the outside. Well, we've already seen one match that started off brilliantly but ending on count out, which was kind of disappointing. We'll have to wait and see how this one goes here. I doubt either of these two are going to settle for the count out loss. Neither of them do, and back into the ring they go. Well spun around there and into an inverted DDT by Oliver Regem, who plays to the crowd. The first ever Cruiserweight champion. Firing himself up here and firing up the crowd as well if he can. Big kick to the gut. And now a big shoulder tackle. And Regem flying on all cylinders right now. Beautiful inverted atomic drop. And there it is as well. Scoop up slam. Beautiful combination by Oliver Regem. Can he continue that momentum? Discus punch. Decided against the clothesline. Went for the discus punch. And that's been more than enough in the past. He only brings out the discus punch on special occasions. Is it enough to knock out Jax Wolfe? It's a 2 again. And a prompt 2 count as well. Didn't even give it a 2.5. But now looking for the Regem combo. One more time. Wolfe's in trouble. Oh, wait, no, he's not. Look at this. Oh, what a slam. And I can't remember when we've ever seen that from Oliver Regem. Bringing out something new in his bag of tools. And Regem progresses with that huge slam to the quarterfinals of the WIW Championship Tournament. What a fantastic encounter between these two. Regem had to bring out every trick in the book to keep Jax Wolfe down. Jax Wolfe just wouldn't go down without a fight. There was that DDT on the apron. Vicious work there. But then the discus knockout punch couldn't keep him down. And so he had to bring out a brand new trick to get the job done here tonight. Huge win for Oliver Regem. He will be taking on Lachlan of Justice in the next round of the WIW Championship Tournament. A huge victory for one of the best strikers in all of WIW. Didn't get the Regem combo off tonight, but pulled out something new to bring it all together and complete what was a fantastic win here for Oliver Regem. The first ever Cruiserweight champion now has his eyes set on his first World Championship. He progresses to the quarterfinals, but the question is, will Lachlan be able to progress and try and get justice to the WIW Championship at Insomnia? Or will Oliver Regem manage to punch, kick, and strike his way through all the way to his first ever World Championship? Big win for him here tonight. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Main event of the evening and the final match of round number 1. And I'm sorry that it was only tournament matches today and that there were only 4 matches on the card, but this is huge, and the general manager wants to make sure that we get this all done in time so that we can have a main event of Insomnia of a 1v1 match for the WIW Championship. First man down to the ring is the first ever Road to Glory tournament winner, James Rowley. I'm sure had a big smile on his face watching Road to Glory Season 2 kick off this week with the winners of Johnny Entertainment and Joyce Andrews, as well as Max Fire. So some new talents coming in, and of course the rest of round 1 will be kicking off very shortly, well, very soon as well. As we get closer and closer to Insomnia, there'll be more episodes of the Road to Glory tournament. Don't you worry about that. But James Rowley needs to focus on now progressing forward. A Cruiserweight champion, Road to Glory winner. It's been a great start to life here in WIW for James Rowley. But now to cap off the year with a chance of the World Championship. Could cap off what's been a huge year for this man. And speaking of someone with a huge year, here is someone who from day 1, from episode 1, made a huge name for himself. It is the mastermind, the plan, Jayden. Jayden is a 2-time WIW champion. It has been a fantastic year for this man. He has kind of dipped towards the end, but it doesn't retract from what he's managed to achieve. He's been a fantastic competitor from start to finish and always has a plan, and maybe this is what he's waiting for. This could be his opportunity to get back. Remember, the general manager said he could not compete for the WIW Championship for as long as Aaron Albright held the championship. Albright is still technically in the tournament, but he is not holding the title, and therefore Jayden has a final chance for season number 1 to become a 3-time WIW champion and be put one behind his big long-time rival in Aaron Albright. in championship reigns. He hasn't had very successful championship reigns, but he has 2 to his name, and that's more than most people do. But he's got a tough opponent here tonight. But this is going to be one hell of a main event. I can feel it. And as usual, we already know who they'll be facing in the quarterfinals. The winner of this will be going on to face Original Brad in the second round of the tournament in the quarterfinals of the WIW Championship. Straight out the gate here, Jayden firing on all cylinders. Not going to waste any time here to try and keep James Rowley down. Remember, James Rowley, heart of a warrior in WIW. Takes a lot to keep him down, and Jayden fully aware of that. I'm sure Jayden's come prepared with a plan for that and a plan of attack for that match. And now Jayden advancing forward, but no. So it's been one hell of a night of action, and we already have determined quite a few quarterfinal matchups. This is the last quarterfinal matchup that we will be determining here tonight. As we know, Oliver Regem will be taking on Lachlan, as we saw in that last match. Beautiful neckbreaker there. Aaron Albright will be taking on Brad Skeens, and Dixon will be taking on Stephen Miller. And then the winner of this will take on Original Brad, and that will be our final 8 in the WIW Championship Tournament. Look at Jayden here. Beautiful suplex. He faked it into a neckbreaker. And Jayden, a very technical fighter, very smart, very quick thinking. A man who has shown his intelligence in plenty of time. Remember, he won his first WIW Championship opportunity all the way back in the very first episode after winning a match in 2 minutes in what was a beat the clock challenge, which he walked out fantastically at. And of course, that is the most viewed video of all time. So Jayden made himself an instant star in the making. And of course, that led him to 2 world championships. It's been unsuccessful in the last couple of months. But Jayden, as we know, will always find his way back to the top. And I'm sure it won't be hard for this man to find his way to Insomnia. As for James Rowley, the Road to Glory winner and Cruiserweight champion, it's been a fantastic first season for him, even though he didn't start all the way at the beginning. I believe he joined at around about episode 49, episode 50-ish. So he's been here for about 50 episodes, and he has shown no signs of slowing down. A Cruiserweight champion, as I mentioned, and now on the hunt for his first world championship. Remember, the first ever Cruiserweight champion, Oliver Regem, also made it to the quarterfinals. So clearly, the Cruiserweight champions, the Cruiserweights are not ready to just settle for Cruiserweight title. They're ready for more. And Jayden trying to stay in control of James Rowley, who's starting to get some momentum here. Starting to work away on the leg with a leg takedown. Remember, if he can lock in that knee bar, that same knee bar that's won in 2 world championships, he could be on for something here. And he's going for it. Look at this, there's the knee bar. And he is away from the ropes. That's definitely not a rope break. Very nicely done by Jayden. This has won him 2 world titles. Is it going to be enough to get rid of Rowley? Rowley breaks the hold. And lucky for him too. Jayden hasn't always had the best ring positioning with that rolling knee bar, but it has been by far his most reliable tool for the year. Very nice elbow there to give himself some separation. James Rowley trying to stay in control after breaking out the knee bar and carry the momentum. Big Russian leg sweep. And now James Rowley drags into the middle of the ring. What's he thinking here? The party boy celebrated a lot this year. He's had some big wins. Of course, recently though, coming off a big 2-0 loss and a 2 out of 3 Falls Count Anywhere match for the Cruiserweight Championship, which was a hard loss to take against such a bitter rival. But now look at this. Oh, going for the 619. He's hooked him very nicely. Jayden in trouble. There's that 619. Big connection. Can he follow through with a splash? Big splash. Very nicely done there. And into the cover on Jayden. Is that enough for James Rowley to progress to the next round and face Original Brad? 2 count. Huge kick out there. And now James Rowley now signing up for the knee. He knows this knee has the ability to wrap it up. It's done it in the past. Is it going to be enough to put him away here? No, he sidesteps the knee. Very nicely done there by Jayden, but try to get back into it. And a crucifix connects. Big miss of the knee. Connects with a big drop kick there, though. Well, now it's back to the drawing board for James Rowley. He knows it's not going to be as easy to just go for it again. Needs to wear him down because clearly Jayden, smart enough, the mastermind, able to see it coming. And now look at this. Oh, well done there. Has him backed up in the corner as well. This is a difficult position for Rowley to get out of. He's found a way out, though. A big knee drop. Rowley, this is what I was talking about. The heart of a warrior does not go down easy. Beautiful STO, and he lands face first on that bottom rope as well for added impact. Jayden under heavy fire into the cover, hooks the legs now. Is that going to be enough to progress? It's a 2 count. And look at this. Oh, big counter there off the drop kick. Went for a drop kick from behind. And now Jayden rolling through again. Jayden again, surely. Gets him again on the rolling knee bar for a second time. Is James Rowley going to find a way out this time again? Holding that knee bar in tightly. Surely he's got... No! Rowley fights out of it again. And no one has ever kicked out of 2 knee bars. And well escaped there by Rowley, who's not going down without a fight here tonight. What a main event this has been. 2 knee bars and still James Rowley survives. But needs to be careful here because Jayden could be very close to wrapping it up. Oh, Jayden looking for a powerbomb. Big connection. What a sharp connection on that one. Into the cover. Is that going to be enough? No, it's a 2 count, but wisely rolls through. Continues working on that lower region and the leg area. Boston Crab. Surely this is enough. Has James Rowley got anything left? He's got out again. Look at Jayden's face. He can't believe it. How on earth is James Rowley still going in this one? And now Jayden carrying the momentum right now. And he can't afford to let James Rowley get back into this. Well countered there by James Rowley, trying to fly. Well skipped by Jayden. And now Jayden going at him. Oh, well ducks under the clothesline. And look at this. It's heating up between these two again. Massive elbow to the face. And now Jayden has him again. Trying the rolling knee bar one more time. Rolls through. Just avoids the rope. Oh, no, he doesn't. The referee tells him to break. The referee forces the break. He couldn't connect with the knee bar on that one. Hooks the leg. Hooks the bottom rope. Now what's he thinking? Big counter there by Jayden. Gets out of the corner. James Rowley gets out himself. What a battle this has been between these two. Remember, the winner will go on to face Original Brand in the quarterfinals of the tournament. What a battle it's been. I knew this would be a main event to remember. And they definitely have not let us down. That is for sure. James Rowley picks him back up. Takes him back down. Trying to keep in control now. Trying to wear him down. Hit with 3 knee bars, but the third one being forced to break. And that definitely would have snapped his leg off, surely. The legs of James Rowley must be in absolute agony right now. Jayden's come in with a clear game plan. Target the legs. Take the little man out. And it hasn't been able to do it. And now James Rowley has him on the floor and trying to keep him down there. He may be all about partying and showing off, but tonight he can't afford to do that because Jayden is bringing one hell of a challenge. Inverted STO this time. Taking a second to breathe. He's feeling the effects. He is hurt because Jayden is bringing one hell of a fight. Just like you would expect from a 2-time WIW champion. Looking for the 619 again. Hooks him. Has him on the ropes. Rowley has him in a bad spot. He gets him. And can he follow through with a splash? Yes, he does. Very nicely done. James Rowley does well. And straight into the cover. He thinks that's going to be enough. The referee slow to make the count. And that's given Jayden enough time to get the shoulders up. Big kick out. And James Rowley now going for the knee one more time. And surely this time, if he can connect, it'll be all over. Jayden is in serious jeopardy here of being eliminated from the match. No, he sidesteps again. Once again, sidesteps the knee. And now look at this. Looking for the brainbuster. Oh, no, couldn't do it. James Rowley fights on. And now James Rowley again to the outside. Might be looking for the knee one more time. If he can get it. Rowley is tired, he's exhausted, and his knees must be in absolute agony. But trying to wrap it up. There it is. Finally with the knee. James Rowley with the huge flying knee. And he progresses to the quarterfinals. What a win for James Rowley. He must be in absolute agony, and you can see him holding his knee there. Jayden definitely did the damage, but it just wasn't enough, and the 2-time WIW champion gets eliminated from the tournament in the first round, and that must be a huge, devastating loss. What a battle, and Jayden once again just could find a way to keep him down and out. But what a win indeed. That was for that man right there, James Rowley. And he's calling his ladies down to the dance floor. That is the ring. He knows that was a huge victory. He can't celebrate for too long though because he knows Original Brad will be there waiting in the wings in the quarterfinals. And that concludes the opening round of the WIW Championship Tournament. The quarterfinals stand at Aaron Albright versus Brad Skeens, Lachlan versus Oliver Regem, Original Brad versus James Rowley, and Dixon versus Stephen Miller. That is going to wrap up tonight's show. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it because I know I did. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.